Life's great challenge is to understand one simple truth. God loves you. God loves you, whoever you are. God's love is passionate and deep and personal and everlasting and life-changing. Long ago, God wrote you a letter, a book of love. We call that book the Bible. The name means simply the book. The Bible tells the story of God's great love, God's everlasting mercy, God's unending faithfulness, God's amazing grace. That love story is told in many different ways. We're going to explore God's mercy together in 5 very beautiful pictures. They're all found together in one remarkable song, Psalm 107. God's mercy means the lost are found and the hungry are satisfied. God's mercy means those who are trapped can be set free. God's mercy means those who are sick in their souls can be made well. God's mercy means the storm-tossed can find safe harbor. God's mercy means that barren lives can become fruitful again. Come and see. It's quite hard to get lost in England in 2010. We have maps and compasses, there are road signs, there are people to ask, there are sat-navs and mobile phones to tell us the way. Even so, most people can remember a time when they've been completely lost. Lost in the crowds, lost on the moors, lost in the dark. It's enough to give us an image for life, to help us see that on the inside, men and women feel lost often and unable to find our way. People feel deeply, deeply confused. In the desert, not being able to find our way home. Without God, we lose our way in life very profoundly. And the idea of being hungry is connected to the idea of being lost. If you're out in the desert and lose your way home, pretty soon you'll need to find something to eat and drink. When the people of Israel came out of Egypt, they were wandering in the desert. They had 2 big issues. One was finding the right way to go. God gave them the 10 Commandments to teach them how to live, and God also guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. The other issue was finding food in the desert. God fed them with a special daily bread called manna. The crowds followed Jesus out into the wilderness. They knew where they were physically, but they were lost spiritually. Jesus taught them and gave them a new way. At the end of the day, they were hungry and thirsty. Jesus fed 5,000 of them with just 5 loaves and 2 fish. In Jesus, the lost find a way home. In Jesus, the hungry are satisfied. Most of us know that this life is a wonderful gift, but how are we to live it? Where do we find the way? Where do we find an inner compass to guide us through? Many of us have glimpses of what it means to be fed spiritually, to be deeply satisfied in the core of our being. But where does that deep inner satisfaction and contentment come from? St. Luke tells us that one of the very early names for the Christians was followers of the way. Christians are people who claim to know where they're going. They are following Jesus, living like Jesus as best they can. Christians are people on a journey. Jesus teaches his followers to pray every day. Give us this day our daily bread. Our physical food, our inner satisfaction come from God. To become a Christian is to move from being lost to being found, from being without direction to having an inner compass and a guide through our lives. To become a Christian is to move from being hungry and thirsty within to being satisfied and being fed spiritually day by day. This is the first way Christians know we are loved by God. God's love makes a difference. Without Christ I was lost, but now I've been found. I know the way. I was hungry and thirsty. Now I'm fed spiritually in prayer, through the scriptures, and through bread broken and wine poured out in Holy Communion. This world can sometimes seem like walking through a desert, but God leads us in his way and will bring us home to be with him forever. The great Welsh hymn uses these wonderful pictures of God's love. Guide me, O thou great Redeemer, pilgrim through this barren land. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with thy powerful hand. Bread of heaven, feed me now and evermore.